Like, bitch, yes you do. Eat that froyo because you want that froyo.
Everybody gets high sometimes, you know. What else can we do when we're feeling low?
What is up, fam? Welcome back to the tube. So today I have a super important video because it shares a really big part of my life, and hopefully it's going to help some of you who have gone through the exact same thing. So let me get comfortable. Alright, I have my notepad because I'm going to forget. But as most of you guys know, I struggled with anorexia nervosa and orthorexia nervosa. So if you guys don't know what orthorexia nervosa is, it's excessive exercising, excessive clean eating, and that was more of what I had rather than anorexia. I never truly starved myself, but I could only eat like a certain type of food and a certain amount. So anyway, I got diagnosed with that when I was 15. I had it for about 2 years, and then I finally fully recovered just this year. Started in like January, started lifting heavier weights after I had gained all my weight back, and that's where I am today. So some of the things I'm going to suggest, and I'm just going to give some tips on how to recover, or at least what worked for me. So we all have our own journeys, they're all different, but this is what worked best for me. So the first thing I wanted to say is what to eat. A lot of people have the question, how much should I be eating? What should I be eating? The number one thing is I say eat calorie-dense foods. So I ate a lot of nuts, even like a handful of trail mix. You would be surprised. There's like 400 calories, but it won't like bloat you or get you too full. That's the problem I was having in the beginning. I was just eating lots of fiber, and like, oh my god, I was in the bathroom like every 5 minutes. So it's like everything I was eating was like being flushed out of my system. So you don't want to feel overly full, even though you're supposed to be eating like 3,000 calories a day, because I was eating like 3,000 calories a day. So I'd eat really calorie-dense foods. You have to introduce things like dairy back into your diet, because when I first started eating dairy, I would shit my fucking brains out because, let's be real, your body's not used to it for a year and a half or 2 years or however long you've been restricting yourself. So when you introduce it, obviously your body is going to reject it. So milk, drinking calories. I had a glass of milk at almost every meal. I started eating higher carb, higher fat, because I had a really high protein diet with like virtually no carbs, no fat. So I was eating, I was drinking at night. I'd have like 3 glasses of whole milk in like a blender cup, which you don't even realize is not that much. It's like this much when you'd think it'd be like this much. And then I'd put a scoop of protein powder or 2 scoops of protein powder, and that was like 800 calories right there, and I didn't even realize it. And it wouldn't make me too full. It would just like satiate my stomach, and I'd be fine for the night. And go to bed on that, and that helped me gain a lot of weight, and don't even realize that you're doing it. Adding butter into things that you wouldn't usually. And then another thing that I would say that's a really big helpful tip is getting social. You're like, oh well, how am I supposed to just get social? But go out there and try and make friends. A lot of being a teenager and being in your 20s and even early 30s, you go out to eat with friends. That's what being social means. I would go on froyo dates with my friends, which would almost like force me to eat in front of them, because you don't want to be like that weirdo who's like sitting in the corner like, I don't want froyo. Like, bitch, yes you do. Eat that froyo because you want that froyo. You're not going to have hunger cues, so you're not going to know when to eat. So you're going to literally have to force yourself, most likely. I had to force myself to eat for about 3 or 4 months before I started to even barely get hunger cues back. Sometimes I still think I don't fully have them back, just because I have to force myself to eat so much now, even when I'm like lifting heavy. Another thing is seeking therapy or a nutritionist. I did this. It didn't work for me, unfortunately, because my area just isn't big into the whole nutritional thing and dietetics and all that, so no one really worked for me. But if you guys want to hop over on Kelly You Fit, she's bae, she's life, I love her, you should love her too. She has so much advice on that kind of stuff, because that's the route that she took, and yeah, she has a lot of information, so if you guys want to check her out, that's a good idea. And then next, I'm just going to say distract yourself. So I was like always thinking about food all the time, and I was like, I want food, but I'm not going to eat it. But like then I started to realize like, wow, when I'm eating this food, I kind of like it. And then in between meals and stuff like that, I would just distract myself and try not to think about food. I would focus on my homework, focus on getting schoolwork done, which is really important anyway. And then I'd look forward to my meals, because I started eating more of the things that I had deprived myself from for so long, especially ice cream. So yeah, I would go get ice cream like 3 times a week with my brother, because his girlfriend works at like this local ice cream shop, that's thebomb.com. So yeah, and then a lot of people ask about working out when it comes to recovery. Did I do it? Behind my parents' back. like twice a week. I shouldn't have. You don't want to be. I couldn't really do much. It was all body weight stuff for like 20 minutes because I'd wake up at like 4 in the fucking morning just to work out, which is like shows you how sick I was. Yeah, it was bad. But you really shouldn't, especially because I didn't have my period for 2 years. Once you get it back, I would say then work out, and I had to be above my weight restoration in order to get it back. I was like 110. I had to get up to like 115 just to get my period back because your body needs like the extra fat. And that's one other thing I want to mention about fat. So everyone's like, oh, I want to gain healthy weight in recovery. I want to gain healthy weight. That's what I said too. No, any weight is healthy weight. Your body has been deprived for that long that any kind of weight that you put on your body is healthy weight. Because say you're like 85 pounds, which is what I was usually like 110, 115. My body was like dying. Like my organs were shutting down, my hair fell out, my nails were brittle, it was gross. Your body needs any source of fat at that point to just live. So any weight that you put on is healthy weight. And when you get to your weight restoration weight, then I would encourage like lifting and being able to put on more muscle in addition to the weight that you've already put on. So I did gain an excess amount of fat when I first started, and I was like a little pudgy in the stomach and stuff, but I had like noodle arms because my weight distribution did not happen till like later on. Then I started lifting and gaining even more weight and muscle, and I lost like a little bit of weight and then gained more in muscle. So yeah, the last thing I want to say is watch out for scams. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a counselor, I can't help completely, I can give tips, but there are a lot of people out there in this industry who have recovered or who have had experience with like lifting and eating and counting macros that they think that they can give advice to people who are recovering, and they take advantage of you and they take your money. Don't do it. They're not certified, they're not licensed. I encourage that you go to a licensed nutritionist or a registered dietitian. This industry is filled with scams. Just watch out for yourself. And yeah, those are my tips on how I recovered. The whole social aspect is really important, drinking calories. I think those are like my two main biggest things that really, really helped me. So if you guys like this video and want to see more about recovery, give it a thumbs up. I know I hate asking for you guys to like the video, but I don't really know if you guys like the recovery stuff or the fitness stuff more. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. If you guys are in recovery or just struggling with your fitness journey and you need help, you feel like you're starting to restrict yourself, just come to me and I will give you some advice and hopefully help you. But no meal plans, sorry guys. Alright, thanks so much for watching, you beautiful people. Love you all so much. So much.